I'm surprised nobody's doing Colin Kaepernick.
We're getting to go live.
Okay.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Throw to second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and two, handout goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a one. He's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Justus Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting, we have G-Dub from Austin, Texas, and finally, Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Good evening, everybody. This is Monday, February 13th, 2023. And it's Valentine's Day Eve. Hopefully you guys went out and got your Valentine's Day stuff. If you didn't, you still got a little time tomorrow to get whatever you got to get. Me and my wife, we don't celebrate Valentine's like that no more because I ain't paying $200 for some roses that I can get on the 15th for $15. I ain't doing that. That's not what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So we don't indulge like that. But anyway, it is what it is. Also, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that sent me a birthday wish. I really appreciate the love I got. And to be honest with you, I'm still getting birthday wishes now. And we're 3 days away from my birthday. So that means I must be touching somebody's heart some kind of way. And I love it. I want to thank you again, everybody. I want to thank you again. So hopefully you guys watched the Super Bowl yesterday. It was a great game. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not a Rihanna fan, but it was all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. I'm an old school guy. I didn't really get the concept of what she was doing there. So I switched back and watched part of the Memphis and Celtics game yesterday during the halftime. But the game was good. I don't care what nobody say. It was a good game. Everybody's on social media now talking about the holding call. And let's talk about I really don't want to talk about the holding call because it was a call. He said he held him and he got caught. He held him once before in the middle of the third or fourth. I think the middle of the third quarter, he held him again in the middle of the field, and they definitely didn't call that flag. So I'm like, will y'all just stop? Eagle fans, stop with that. Stop with it. I'm really impressed with Jalen Hurts. As I said at the beginning of the year, I picked him to win the division. I didn't pick him to go to the Super Bowl, but I picked him to win the division. I said Jalen Hurts is going to show out, and he showed out, and I love that. He's not the reason why they lost. I mean, he did have a turnover, but man, he balled out. And I wish they had a little bit more time for them to see if they can triculate down that field and kick a field goal, whatever. But man, I tell you what, it was a good game. It's probably, I'm not gonna say it was it's not even a top five, my top five because of how the game finished on a penalty. I don't think nothing can beat the Rams and Tennessee Titans the year they played. I don't think there's a game that can beat that, in my opinion. Tom Brady stuff, we know how that was fixed. You know, I don't care about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals either, because Arizona, the last play of the game and he stopped him at the goal line. Dyson from getting a touchdown. I think that was exciting because that game goes into overtime. You know what I'm saying? But again, It was a great game. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning another Super Bowl ring. Congratulations for the Philadelphia Eagles for getting that far. At the end of the day, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I didn't want the game to end, really. I wasn't really enjoying the game. That is probably the first Super Bowl I actually sat down and watched from beginning to end, and it wasn't my team. And I think the reason why I did it because of Jalen Hurts. But Mo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My sticky note right here says Chiefs offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mo.
I said Lane Johnson.
I said Lane Johnson.
Yeah, you did. And I'm hearing
sorry,
he has
is unstoppable. Anywhere from 2 yards out, he running his quarterback sneaking.
You can't stop.
Well, we're gonna talk about that quarterback sneak in a minute too. Something might be changing in the NFL. What was I going to say? Lane Johnson he has to have surgery on all season. They didn't say what it was for or nothing like that. But again,
we had a problem with it most of the year.
We're gonna get into that right now. But real quick, before we go into our Black History moment, we're kind of trying to wait on Dana to get around here. He's still at work, chilling, doing what he's doing at work. He had to work a little overtime, but that's okay.
I wish I could the chill at work.
You know how some people come and goes. Look like we got one viewer online. Thank you very much for watching us.
It's probably my mom.
It's probably my mom.
You always want to support her baby boy.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why. Hey, mom. Thank you, mom, for.
No, I'm joking. It ain't my mom.
I'll agree and say if it's your mom, and I find out it's a mom, I gotta send her a shirt, right? I gotta give her a shirt. I gotta give a shout out to your mom.
She ain't watching.
But anyway, real quick before we go into our Black History, I want to talk about this situation with New Mexico State University men's hoop shutdown sparked by hazing allegations within the program. The New Mexico State men's basketball team suspended the season indefinitely. The New Mexico State basketball team has suspended the season indefinitely following a new allegation within the program. It says men's basketball has canceled Saturday's game at Cal Baptist and suspended the season indefinitely following new allegations within the program, according to a statement from the school. The new allegations involve multiple players being allegedly investigated for the role in hazing attacks on teammates on more than one occasion, Stadium reported. The school said in a statement that the new allegations have been prompted an investigation by the university and led to the coaching staff being put on paid administration leave. The Aggies have been embroiled in controversy since November, when forward Mike Peake shot and killed a New Mexico State in Albuquerque with what the police call self-defense calls after Peake had been lured to the campus. Per school statement, Friday's decision to suspend the season is separated from the case. The New Mexico State University is suspending the operations for the men's basketball program until further notice. The school statement said Friday, New Mexico State University personnel was recently informed of new allegations separated from the events that took place in Albuquerque late last year, involving potential violation of university policy. While those allegations are being investigated, the men's basketball coaching staff has been placed on paid administration leave. The game canceled for February 11 against California Baptist will not be played. New Mexico State is 9-15 in Greg Hare's first season. The New Mexico State University Board of Representatives was informed this evening of the suspension of operations for the men's basketball program. What else was there? Something else was there. Just a little bit more.
They also say that
it was
false imprisonment, harassment, and
criminal sexual contact.
Okay, so that's what I was going to read here. So these are some serious allegations on hazing. And the thing about it, young people, if you're in college, we're not saying you can't haze, but it's the hazing that you do. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's the type of hazing you do. Man, have it frilly hazing. You know what I'm saying? Have him walk around with a toga on or something crazy like that, or have him go knock down a tree or I mean, if you play in sports, there's really not a lot of hazing that has to be done because you're getting hazed as you practice it on a football field, baseball field, basketball court. You're getting hazed just because you're on the team. So that means you're running extra laps or you're doing jumping jacks. You're doing something physically fit that causes you not to harm you in a manner of what's going on here in New Mexico State. So hopefully this thing doesn't turn out a whole lot of dirty laundry, but from what Mo just said, there's going to be some issues going on with this program. I wouldn't be surprised if BYU this program and come back later on down the line and reestablish another program for basketball. But I feel sorry for the ones that wasn't involved, that don't have an opportunity to play. I feel sorry for those that were seniors who had opportunity to maybe go to the next level. Now they have to be seen another way. It's like a ripple effect. It's like you throwing a pebble in a pond and you get that ripple effect of what goes on, and you're not even part of it. You know what I'm saying? You're just not part of that. And now this is what you have to deal with. Mo, comments, concerns?
So I remember my first incident when I was on the bus coming back from a camp from football team. I'm not gonna get as graphic as we need to, but there was some unwanted touching that was going on our stuff in hazing. One guy actually got mad about it and started fighting back. They beat him with a cleat. Yeah, I saw some wild stuff, man. Some wild stuff in my hazing days. And I didn't even continue to play football after that because it was just too crazy. So I played flag football. I should have stuck with regular football. Maybe I'd still have my teeth. But seriously, though, the thing about it is people just want to be in control. And because it's done to you when you're a freshman, you think you can do it to a freshman as a senior. Why? Somebody has to break the chain because eventually you guys are all playing together. You're all a team. I understand that you want to make them feel how you felt and that made you feel like you're part of the team. Somebody needs to change this. Just like hazing when it comes to HBCUs. The reason I'm not an alpha right now is because the alphas were kicked off campus when I was there because they had a hazing incident and one of the alphas that they were recruiting actually passed away on his way home. It's just sad how hazing has really affected, and it really affects us because most people who play sports happen to be African-American males. So that's the problem that we run into. We need to be better to each other. We need to be better collectively. And then we just need to take into account the way that it made us feel and break that cycle. And hopefully it will happen eventually because it's happening in college, happening in the pros. But in pros, they make you take them out to dinner and pay $40,000 for a bill. That's crazy in itself, but that's money. You got the money. They know you got the money because they saw what you signed for. That's why you're the one taking them out. But it's got to stop, man. It's got to stop.
And when I was in college, I went to Wilberforce University, and I was going to pledge Q, right? But our Q chapter there was on probation, right? So they couldn't initiate nobody in. But I had Central State right across the street from Wilberforce University, who had a slew of Qs over there. So if I went back my sophomore year, that's what was my plan to pledge for a Q. But they did some things. They did some things that was unethical as well. And my thing is this right here. If I'm pledging for something or you hazing me for something, if I don't know my history or if I don't know the plays, then okay, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking the time to do what the necessary homework to be better at what I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? But and I probably wouldn't have been a person that would do a lot of crazy hazing at all. My thing would be, do you know the history of the fraternity? Do you know the history of your football team? Do you know the history of basketball team? All that. If you don't know, okay, we're gonna do some suicides. So now you're gonna go back to your dorm room, and then you're gonna open up that book, and you're gonna tell me who was the first baseman that ever played for my college team that got into the Hall of Fame, or something of that nature. That's the type of hazing I looked to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you're 17, 18, 19 years old, you're a healthy person. And that's part of being on a sports team. So I get your point, man. And again, it's just gonna be from the sounds of it's gonna be a lot of dirty laundry coming out of this right here. Go ahead,
And I'm
Mo.
just saying, we got to change the name of suicides. That can't stand any longer. It did feel like suicide.
It did feel like suicide.
Okay, so let's call it 17s.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I ain't heard of the 17s.
I ain't heard of the 17s, but I get that reference.
Yeah, the 17s is you don't go up the court. I mean, you don't go line to line to line. You go 17s the short way. So you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No.
Yeah.
I'll take suicide.
I'll take suicide.
Yeah, that's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it. Got to get these girls in shape, man. I don't know if you saw. Also, I'm gonna give a shout out to my girls basketball team, my 7th graders. They sent me a card, gave me a basket. They signed a basketball, man, and I'm gonna tell you, I love coaching girls basketball. I really do. Got some young girls on the team that once that light click on, they're gonna be hell on wheels, man. I'm telling you right now, they better watch out. They better watch out, man. We got a little feeder program that we're doing on Sundays. I missed the last 2 weeks. Sundays. I missed last Sunday because something came up, and I missed this Sunday because we had plans to go out for me and my brother-in-law's birthday. But I'll be back hopefully this Sunday, hanging out with the girls. We did a draft. I hope somebody drafted my team. I don't care who I get. I'm gonna teach them how to play the game of basketball. But again, give a shout out for the first 7th, 8th grade Harrisburg Cougar ladies basketball team in some up 10 years. It's just amazing, man, how it all happens. Also, I want to say happy birthday to everybody in the state of in the month of February. Do you know how special it is to be Afro-American and be born in February? Yeah, that's great, baby. Black History Month, your birthday is it. Don't get jealous, Mo. Don't get Mo. Don't get
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
Birthday like
Nobody
mine.
has a birthday like mine.
Everybody celebrates my birthday.
Everybody celebrates my birthday. Just a different times.
I'm listening.
New Year's Day, baby.
New Year's Day, baby.
Oh, New Year. What that got? They ain't got nothing to do with Black History. Do it, people. Ain't got nothing to do with Black History.
Anything to do with us.
Everything to do with us.
Only thing they got to do with party. But again, man, it kind of like I really never thought about it like this, Mo. But I'm like, when I was younger, my dad bought these Black History encyclopedias. They had all kind of Black history in their sports stuff and everything. And then born in February, and then all the teams I like had something Black history to do. They got something to do with Black history. Man, it was in my DNA to be doing what I'm doing. Even when it comes to sports, listen to the radio at nighttime, when TV was cut off and the only thing you saw was a flag and an airplane. And I'm listening to got my radio underneath my pillow, listen to the sports that way. So when I go to school, we can talk about sports and things of that nature. So it just, all this was just, it was already maturing in me. And then with my dad, me and my dad would talk about sports every day. Then when my dad passed away, I didn't even go to sit in my basement for almost a year. Couldn't watch sports down there. My wife even took a picture of my dad, my brother, and my nephew down there. And I just couldn't do it. I started watching TV upstairs in the bedroom, And then that following year, I kind of got used to it, going down there and watching sports. But all of it has brought me to where I'm at right now. All right, so Mo, go ahead and knock off your history, Black History moment for me.
Okay. I was hoping Dana would be here because it's better if it's two people. So, my person, formerly known as Chris Wayne Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, great basketball player from LSU, has been known for 3 different controversies. Okay, Dix, can you name 2 of those 3 controversies? You're muted.
I know one of them, he wouldn't stand up for the flag.
Yep. That's one. Yep.
And
that's one.
The other 2, I don't think he wasn't on the team that won a title, so it's not like he didn't go see the president. So that's not it.
One of them was controversial. They thought he was just crazy.
I can't remember the other two.
He had Tourette's. Then he blamed 911 on Israel and said Al Qaeda was framed. So he had 3 different things that happened with him that made people just hate him. They hated him because, first of all, he changed his name and he became a Muslim. Second of all, he came out and people thought he was just cursing at everybody because he had Tourette's, because he'd always have a tick. When he'd be out there and he'd be like, he was cursing, but I mean, it was because he had Tourette's. It wasn't like he was cursing at anybody. It's just what he was doing. But then the third one, he was about to sign with the Knicks after he had a great career in Denver. Then he also played a couple of years also in Sacramento. Then he played in Vancouver. He was about to sign with the Knicks after 10 years in the league. That's when everything came out about 9/11, because that happened right after the 2001 season. And the Knicks didn't sign him because of that. He was going to New York. You can't say something about 9/11 in New York. So the problem is he was probably one of the best basketball players that not many people know of. He never averaged 20 points per game in the NBA, which I was surprised to notice when I actually looked that up. His highest was 19.2. Dude was a straight killer, though. If anybody that remembers Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, knew that kid was a killer. Him and was it Antonio? Why I want to say McGinnis? I don't think it was McGinnis. I think it was McDyess. Antonio McDyess, for killing people in Denver back in the day. So he was just such a great player. And to lose his career because he actually stood up before Colin Kaepernick, he actually lost his career in basketball because he would not stand for the flag. Sometimes he would actually just stay in the locker room until they had played the national anthem and came out. Then he actually made a compromise. He'd come out, but he would close his eyes and he would pray. He would pray to Mecca when he was actually there standing for the national anthem. But the most important thing was people don't realize this. He was actually standing up for oppression back then before Colin Kaepernick. Everybody think it was Colin Kaepernick. People don't even remember Muhammad Ali wouldn't go to the Vietnam War because he said, Charlie didn't kill me. I got nothing wrong with the Viet Cong. They never did anything bad to me, because there was so many more things going on against black people from white people in the U.S. back in those days. But they always wanted to create it against someone else. This time it was Muslim. With Muhammad Ali, it was Korea. It's always been something. Colin Kaepernick just tried to stand up for his people. All of them lost parts of their career. Muhammad is still known as the greatest of all time. Nobody recognizes Chris Jackson for how good he was. And Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is the guy that I chose because I wanted to give him some shine of how great he was and what he stood for, because people don't give it to him. All the people think about is Colin Kaepernick. So it happened before Colin Kaepernick. Got to go back to Bill Russell. You got to go back to the Fabulous Four as well, who actually were there with Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, and also Wilt Chamberlain. I think it was another guy. I can't remember the other guy that was there, but they all stood up for this back in the 60s too. So you just got to think. You got to know your history to know that Colin Kaepernick did not start this movement. He just continued it because it had been going on for so long, and it's still happening.
What is my man doing now? Chris Jackson or Abdul-Rauf.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Yeah, I gotta see it to read it, to pronounce it, because I can't remember.
He actually just did. It was just a documentary that just came out on him. So I haven't seen the documentary yet. But from what I know, he's just really just chilling. I think he's still around basketball, but of course he's not playing. You'll see him at some games sometimes, some Denver games. So, but the thing about it is he's just never, since everything happened with 9/11, mostly the league actually just separated themselves from him.
So the documentary that you're talking about, if we wanted to find it, where could we look for that?
That's a good question. Give me a couple of minutes and I will find the link and I'll post it in the thing.
Okay, great. While he's doing that, Dana's not around. Maybe Lou may slide on through, but I'm doing one of my favorite basketball players of all time. As a kid growing up, like I said to you guys, I had black encyclopedias. My dad worked a part-time job for us to get those encyclopedias, and I thank him every day for that. But the person I'm going to do is Mr. Chuck Cooper. I saw me and his son are friends on Facebook. I met him up in Boston. Humble guy. He said if I ever need anything, just reach out to him, and everything like that. I got a hoodie. I don't know what a hoodie is right now, but I wanted to put it on today because I'm representing him, Sweetwater, and the other Sweetwater, Nate, and the other guy that was drafted in the same year, but Chuck Cooper was drafted first. So Chuck Henry Cooper, American professional basketball player. Here it is. He and two other, Nate Sweetwater Clifton and Earl Lord, became the first African American players in the National Basketball Association in the 1950s. Cooper was also the first African American to be drafted by the NBA team as the first black second round, as the first pick of the second round, Boston Celtics. Cooper was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame on September 9th, 2019. And I want you guys to understand something. Bill Russell never went to the Hall. He never went to get inducted in the Hall of Fame because there were people that played before him that he felt should have got in before him. And when they got in, then he went and took his bow as being in the Hall of Fame. Earlier life, college career, and there's something about this right here that I read, and now I know why he could deal with what he dealt with when he came to the NBA. All right, so he was all city first team. He attended and played a semester of basketball at Western Virginia State College, now known as University, before being drafted to the service of the United States Navy in the final stages of World War II. I got sneezed. He ain't coming. Duquesne. He followed his service. He enrolled at Duquesne University, where he was an All-American starter all 4 years and set the school record for the total amount of points for 999 in 4 seasons. He was a captain from 1949 to 50 team, which was we got Lou out there. Hey Lou, how you doing? I got sneeze. Won't sneeze. It won't come out. He was a captain from 1949 to 50 team, which was the first team from the university that was nationally ranked all season, finishing with a 23-6 record, ranked 6th nationally. He was the first African American to participate in the college basketball game south of the Mason-Dixon line. So he made history again. On April 25th, 1950, the first African American drafted into the NBA when the Boston Celtics chose him with the 14th overall pick. Cooper was drafted by the Celtics. Oh, thank you. Drafted by the Celtics, Walter A. Brown, coached by the legendary Red Auerbach, and a teammate of the great Bob Cousy. When officially from team learned of Boston's interest, Cooper, they suggested he should not be drafted because of his color. Now, I want you guys to remember this. Excuse me. Back then, they want you to have at least one black on your team. And then they said, okay, we're going to draft 2 blacks. So they could be roommates, right? So they would have to roommate with a white person. They would roommate with 2 black people. That's why they said, oh, you can at least have 2. Okay. Let me see. Cooper, Brown's famous quote was, I don't give a damn if he's striped, plaid, or polka dot. Boston takes Charles Cooper of Duquesne. Cooper made the NBA debut on November 1st, 1950 against the Fort Wayne Pistons. Cooper played 4 seasons with the Celtics. During his NBA career, Cooper played a total of 409 games, scored 2,772 points for an average of 6.6 points per game, 2,431 rebounds with an average of 5.9 per game, and had 733 assists for the average of 1.7 per game. As some stats were not kept during this time, it's not known how many block shots, steals, or turnovers he had in his career. Wow. After his NBA career, Cooper graduated with a master's of social work for the University of Minnesota in 1960. He was married twice. He was married twice, first in 1951 and then in 1957. to Ivor Lee, with whom he had 4 children. He worked to improve hometown Pittsburgh, serving as the Pittsburgh School Board and appointed to Director of Parks and Recreation for the city, becoming the first Black department head. He also helped the Pittsburgh National Bank Affirmative Action Program as an urban affairs officer until he died in Pittsburgh at the age of 57 on February 5th, 1984, of liver cancer and Forbes Hospital. Forbes Hospice. So basically, this guy was, and if you think about this and you put it in the perspective of Jackie Robinson, okay. So Jackie Robinson was the first Black athlete to play. But the reason why Jackie was the first, because Jackie really wasn't the best player. Okay, if you think about it, you had Seth Sanders, you had Satchel Paige, you had Josh Gibson, you had the kid, the pitcher that went to Cleveland Indians. They were probably all better players than Jackie Robinson. But Jackie Robinson, number one, he grew up in California, so he was used to being around whites. Number two, he went to University of UCLA, graduated in 4 years UCLA, as he lettered in everything, basketball, football, track, probably hopscotch. He did that. Number three was he went into the military, so he had discipline. So I think that has something to do with why the Celtics drafted Mr. Cooper, because he had the discipline of being in the military. He could take the rudging or the disrespect that he would probably get from the professional athletes, even from the fans. But talking to his son last year, it gave me a different perspective on who Mr. Cooper was as a person, and even as a basketball player. Whenever you get a chance, go out to Chuck Cooper Foundation. They have a lot of nice gear you can purchase with that. Also, he does a lot of community service stuff. He has a really good program underneath his father's name, Chuck Cooper, the Chuck Cooper Sr. So, but the thing about it is that today was weird because I watched a documentary of Bill Russell on Netflix. So if you get a chance, go to Netflix, and it talks about Bill Russell and how he got treated in Boston with the fans, and when the fans finally accepted him and things of that nature. But the whole thing about it is that he was there, Chuck Cooper was there during that time period, and he did a good job of, and you never heard about him going outside the realms or anything like that. He did what he had to do as a professional athlete, and hopefully soon, I'm hoping that somebody's going to invest and make a movie of Chuck Cooper, as well as Bill Russell. There's going in the future, you're going to see a lot of movies coming out, because some of these guys have passed away now. So you'll be seeing some things coming. I'm pretty sure real soon about Chuck Cooper. But to be the first, I think his education has something to do with it. I think that being in the military has something to do with it, because he had discipline. They know that he could handle himself better than the average person. So we look like we got some callers online, Mo. We got Lou out there. We got someone from California. We got somebody from Houston. So let's go with the 714-3283. You're on the line with Kevin, K Dix, and Mo, and Justus Sports Talk. Who are you? Where you calling from?
I'm Kevin.
And what you want to talk about?
Hey, Kevin. I'm talking about the Mexico State thing. David from California.
Okay, David from California. How you doing?
So, doing okay, Kev. It's a long time to talk to you.
What's up?
Anyway, this whole Mexico State thing is crazy. I mean, they canceled the whole season. I mean, that's it's really crazy. I'm just reading about what's going on there, and just connecting the coaches that I go. I think. Would you say so?
Yeah, and I think the thing about it is, I think the coaches knew something about it, but sometimes they want to turn a blind eye to stuff like that. But again, in the world that we're in now, the sensitivity of everything that goes on, I mean, you have to watch what you say now. You got to watch what you do. And again, when it comes to hazing, it's certain hazing that you have to stop doing. And Mo said that he read where what were all the things they did, Mo? As far as
they talked about false imprisonment, harassment, and criminal sexual contact against 3 members of the men's basketball program. So that's why they started with the administration, and that's why they finished the whole season, because they wanted to do more investigation because everybody's on administrative leave. So it's just one of those things where they're afraid that it's going to be deeper and see how far it really goes, even though this is a first-year coach. So it's sad that it's a first-year coach that came in and do this. It wasn't like a program where, if you think about the women's swimming team that they had talked about, where it was 30 years of things that had gone on and intimidation of swimmers, leading to them actually having problems where they couldn't even make weight sometimes because they were so anxious, and they would have different like bulimia being one of the different diseases that some of them worried about. It's just so bad that it comes from your coach or it comes from other people on your team. Those are the people that you're supposed to trust and you're supposed to love because you're being together. And when it's those people that are actually taking advantage of you, it's what they always say, is that people can only hurt you when you let them close enough. So it's sad, really sad.
Also, something going on in Wyoming that I've been hearing about. I don't know what's on there. They had 3 players who transferred from USC, UCLA, and I'm not sure where it was from. And all of a sudden, they just got left the team. And I mean, this hearing, there's a lot going on there in Wyoming. I don't know if it's the same thing or what. But have you heard anything about that, Kev?
No, actually, what I'm doing now, I'm trying to look that up now. Let's see here. Is it a basketball? Football? Is it football? Is it a football program? Basketball.
Yeah, because I work with a prep school, and one of our players is actually thinking about going there, and he's thinking twice now about what he's been hearing been going on.
Okay, former UK basketball player gets federal probation.
No, this is Wyoming.
It sounds like Kentucky.
Kentucky. No, this is old. This is old right here. This is an old one.
There's 3 guys. One guy played UCLA, Jake Kyman, and then a guy named Ethan Anderson who played at USC. And then there's a 3rd guy. I think there's another USC guy. I think it was Max or something or other. And they all transferred to the portal last year to Wyoming. And now they've all 3 been dismissed, or they left. They left the school, and we're told that they aren't going to be renewed for that.
But maybe I think I got something.
I don't know. It sounds pretty weird too.
This is what I love when somebody calls in. We don't know anything about.
I know. I don't see it right now. Hey, Dave, if you get a chance, put that link on the page, and then we can look that up, and we can talk about it next week, because I'm looking for it right now and I don't see anything right now. But yeah.
Dave, are you talking about racist talk? Justin and Wyoming basketball game?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Kev, it's on Fox 17, West Michigan. But it looks like that's high school basketball. That doesn't look like college. I'll have to look at that. When you said Wyoming, all I thought about was the Wyoming 14, about the black guys that weren't allowed to play when they went to BYU.
Okay.
Dave, what you say about the high school?
The modern day high school, which is a big time for program, football, basketball, and their football team, their coach has been there forever, and somebody came forward, a player who was like a freshman or sophomore, and they played this game called Body, and basically you hit the person that basically give up or whatever, and this kid got hurt pretty bad, and they made a big deal about it. It was a whole big scandal, but somehow they were keeping it under the rug, and the coach is under fire. They keep him there forever, and now this year, after this whole thing's going on, he decided to retire, which is probably an unofficial forced retirement because of the whole situation. I think. So this kind of hazing and stuff that goes on in sports, unfortunately, and it's probably going on for years.
Yeah, because we have a high school here, and we got a high school here near me called Middletown High School, where they were hazing with the massage balls, the massage machines that they have, where you can massage your body with and stuff like that. They had those things right there that they was massage. They was using those, and they said there was some sexual touching as well. They canceled the whole season. The whole team they canceled the whole season for the football team, and they had a pretty decent team. And some of the seniors didn't get a chance to play. It's a mess, man. And the thing about it is, again, we have to learn how to haze and make it fun. And certain things you can't do no more. The society's not going to allow us to do the things we did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just that this is how society is, and we have social media now that a drop of the dime, you got something on social media already before you think about it. Look how much stuff gets on social media before it even goes to ESPN right now. ESPN sometimes is behind the 8 ball when it comes to certain things. You may not know all the facts, but you know that it's brewing, something's brewing, and then you wait for ESPN to give you all the tidbits and all that things like that. So I think that, with everything going on in this world, I think that hazing just needs to stop. And like I said, if you're playing sports, if you can't haze them while they're practicing, then don't haze them at all. Because at the end of the day, if a person feels unwanted attention, they can say that's hazing, and it's not hazing. But if you gotta know when you can do it, when you can't do it.
When I was in high school, across the country, and they had a ritual where the seniors and the veteran runners would go during when they were practicing, running throughout the neighborhoods around the school, and they would get the new runners, tackle them, take all their clothes off, and then go throw the clothes somewhere, and then they had to go go get them and put them back on. And if they didn't like you, they throw it in a more public place. I know one kid got them thrown in right next to a KFC drive-through. So, I'm gonna say this though. And if I ap a jockey strap on, I'm cool with that. But if I ain't got no jock strap on, then that's it. There, I got an issue. Yeah. Well, they ended up stopping the thing the year before I started running because there was a kid on the team who had long hair, and I guess they were over by this baseball field, and they did the usual thing, and this older couple saw out their window these guys on top of this kid, and he had long hair. They thought they were raping this kid.
Oh my
they
God!
thought he was a girl.
Oh my God!
So they called the police, and so I guess they brought back to the high school, and the coach got a little slap on the wrist, and he basically ended the process of hazing. So this is back in 1988, 89, 90, so a lot different times 30 years ago.
Exactly. Okay, we got somebody. Dave, you can stick a stay if you want to. We got another call on the line. Area code is 832. Last four is 8646. They from Houston, Texas. I think I might know who this is, but I'm not for sure. But who we speaking to from Houston? or from Texas?
You know who it is.
Hey, listen, I got a quick question
How'd
for you.
Like that?
I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
Is them Houston Cougars for real this year?
Oh, it's for real. 5-7 gamble. It's for real. It's for real.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
what's going on?
I'm trying to get a gig now so I can work the NCAA. We're gonna win it on our own home court, our own backyard, baby.
Okay.
Get ready.
So what's on your mind?
Oh yeah, Kevin Felton got him playing, and he's playing over there.
Yes, he do.
I'm telling you.
What's on your mind, sis?
It's our time. It's our year. How did you like that Texas Super Bowl yesterday?
I knew she was going to talk about the Super Bowl. Why we got Cowboy fans calling about the Super Bowl? Why we got Cowboy fans?
She's not a Cowboy fan.
Oh, she's not. I thought she was a Cowboy fan.
No, she liked the Houston Texans.
Oh, okay. Oh, so she ain't a football fan.
Yeah. The other Texas Super Bowl. How'd you like that? You know, Mahomes versus Jalen.
I loved it. I tell you what, though, my biggest issue was that football field. That field was terrible. They said they've been growing that grass for 2 years. I don't know what kind of grass that was. Now I'm gonna say this though, if the paint from the football field is like that, then there's a problem, because maybe you don't need to have that on the middle, because the logo was like from the 30 to the 30. That's how big the logo was, or something like. I mean 40 to the 40, and they were slipping all over the place. That was a factor in the game. I think that was a major factor in the game as well. That's the only thing I didn't like about the football field. But I'm saying to myself, we were complaining early in the season about the AstroTurf, okay? How the AstroTurf, everybody doesn't want to play on the AstroTurf no more, and now you got this grass you're growing, and you're having problems with the grass that you have out there. I don't know if it's the grass or if I don't know if it's the paint that was on the field, but that was one of the biggest issues I had. But I tell you what, though, Jalen Hurts, he ain't done yet, and neither is Patrick Mahomes. I can see. I'm gonna say this: Jalen Hurts played. He wasn't rattled at all. And you know what I like too is when they was reviewing the play and his coach telling everybody look at the score. He's like, "Yo, put your hand down." He's like, "Yo, put your hand down. Put your hand down." Jay looked at him like, "Yo, put your hand down." And that goes to show you the maturity of him as a football player. And you know what? He never complained, and I love it. I love it.
And he's been coached by his dad, you know, so he has a great mentor. He has a good head on his shoulder.
And you know what's the weird thing about it is nobody ever talks about his dad being his coach. And I'm gonna say this: if that's somebody else,
it's not weird. We know why.
Yep. And see, that's the part that pisses me off to no end. If it's somebody else, that's all they want to talk about is the dad, this, the dad. But the dad got to be proud of his son, how his son has grown as a football player. You look at it, you know, they said that the reason why he got benched in the national championship game because he didn't want to take chances. And he's grown since then. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry he's on the Eagles team, but I've been riding him since the beginning of the year. And everybody on the show knows that I gave him praise from the very beginning of the season because I didn't like the way the Eagles came out and said he's auditioning to be the next quarterback for the Eagles when he took them to the Super Bowl with nothing last year, and now he takes you to the Super Bowl. Now he takes you to the playoffs and takes you to the Super Bowl. And the games they lost, he only lost one game all season, and the other two games he lost, he didn't play. In my personal opinion, I think he deserved to be MVP because they don't win. When he don't win, I mean he don't play, they lose. I can't say the same thing. I can't say the same thing with Kansas City.
Well, they got to go by the script.
Yeah, I guess.
But speaking of terms and all of that other, you know, we have our guys coming full circle with the Nico Ryans. You know, everybody was like, "Oh, I want to coach Texas. I don't want to go there." And now this man has turned into it's like a 360. And I couldn't be happier. I can't wait for September. I can't wait. This guy here, he kind of reminds me of Hirsch. You know, they're so humble. They kind of got the same type of disposition, you know, and the way they see things in life, they go about their business, and they don't let nothing get in their way. They're just their leaders.
Miss Bridget.
And he's gonna turn it around quick. It's not gonna take long. He's gonna turn it around quick.
Bridget.
We got last year, a lot of games used to allow they were close games.
They definitely were.
You know, and but they're getting ready to turn it around, and people who are always, you know, playing the race card, they black coaches, they've had 4. Your team hasn't had any. Speaking of the Cowboys, rather, you know, and those are the ones who are talking and upset. And you have a few of them stop talking to me. They brought up the guy is the racist, the owner. I say, that's not, he's dead. His son is taking over the team. Number 2, you tell me what billionaire is going to let a 27-year-old African American man run their team. You know, instead of making anything, you know, he said what he said. This is said the right way. You can't let people, you know, run your company or whatever. And he just had that mindset. I don't know all of that mindset. And they all say and do what they do. Some get caught and some don't.
So let me say this to you real quick before you telling you ready to go. When I said when he interviewed for the job, and I said if he gets a job, Mo, what did I say he should do? What should he hire? D'Amico. When I said if I'm D'Amico Ryans, my whole coaching staff gonna be black.
JJ Watt. JJ Watt. I thought you did say JJ Watt. I think I'm about to say JJ Watt.
I said the whole coaching staff should be black. I like that. That's how you get them back. That's how you get them back. That's just my thought. That's my thought process. You know what I'm saying?
Most of them are black.
Okay. See.
And he talked about the McNairs, the owners. He said he knows them and that situation. You know, it was something that they moved over there a long time ago. He always watched and followed Texas, even when he's been living in San Francisco. You know, so. But yeah, most of his staff, from what I've seen so far, is predominantly black. His coaching.
So
yeah.
So Miss Bridget,
he's doing his thing, and he got it. Mm-hmm.
Who's the Texans looking at getting right now for that pick? Who you think they leaning towards?
I think they're leaning towards Bryce Young. If not, it's because of the Nico being defensive minded and plays the on the defensive side of the field. You may look at Will Anderson or Jalen KYRIE.
Okay.
With the Nico, I don't know yet. I don't know anymore. I'm thinking Bryce Young. I'm hoping Bryce Young. Because, they say you have to have your franchise quarterback.
Right.
And if he's there at number 2, he's the guy. So hopefully he is there, and that's who D'Amico chooses to select to lead his team. If not, he will select one of those top guys on the defensive end of the field. Will Anderson and Jalen KYRIE.
Okay.
Either one would be great, but
okay.
I'm just hoping it's Bryce Young. It has to be. And D'Amico's an Alabama guy. Bryce Young is an Alabama guy.
Right. Mo, you got any questions for Miss Bridget?
Number 12 pick as well.
Mo, you got any questions for Miss Bridget?
I do got a question for you. Being a Texans fan, sounds like you've been a true Texans fan. With that, what do you think is with D'Amico Ryans coming home? Of course, it's good for that. Is there anybody else you would love to see come home actually playing for the Texans, or anybody else that you would love to see be on that coaching staff that's not on the Texans right now?
But he said he's not interested in coaching. He's interested in assisting or whatever that may mean. But
She's talking about J.J. Watt.
Coach, but I think that would be great. Him, and Andre wants to coach. I could see him coaching the receivers, and that would really, really be something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Coach the receivers.
That definitely would be nice. I think the Texans got it right this time. With the head coaching spot. I think they. I mean,
leave me. I mean,
go ahead.
Interrupt, but you said something. You said they got it right this time. They reminded me of Eric Bieniemy, and people are saying why he can't get a head coaching job, but he hasn't got one. When the time is right, he's definitely going to get one. He's special and he's different, and he knows probably too getting with coaching right now how quick the turnover is, especially for black coaches. So I believe when the time is right, that's when he will get that right opportunity, the perfect opportunity.
But I think with Eric Bieniemy, there's an issue.
He would come on our staff, but
there's an issue there with him. I think there's a communication issue with him. Communicating with the players. I don't know if it's like a language barrier or they were saying something about his speech or something like that. Mo, did you read something about that? I think that they were saying something about that being an issue for him. You remember that? I read about this a long time ago. But now he did pass up some interviews this year. I know Baltimore was looking at him for the offensive coordinator, but in order for him to go there, they would have to give him the assistant head coach as well, for him to make that move. I think, honestly, thinking that he's gonna stay there in Kansas City, and end up coach. I think Andy Reid might have one more year left because he like eating them cheeseburgers. He's not on the glow flow or whatever the diet thing no more. He's like, look, man, this is me. That I am who I am, and I ain't changing myself no more. But because I was reading like the plays that they used in the second half of the game, the playbook. They said a lot of the playbooks came from preseason games that they had, that they brought in. And if you think about it, those 2 touchdowns, them guys is wide open. I'm like, come on, they did outcoach the Eagles, in that second half. It was a game that I didn't want it to end, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Mo.
He proved that Philadelphia made the wrong decision. They should have kept him. He's won 2 since they won 1, and one of them was against Philly. So
yeah, but I think the reason why he ended up leaving Philly is because his kids couldn't stay out of trouble.
He got fired.
Yeah, but I think the kids had something to do with that too, because remember, one of his kids was on the staff, and he got drunk or something happened, and then that's when he said,
and they fired Doug Peterson.
Even Doug Peterson shouldn't have been fired either. So they got a good coach in Nick. But we're going to see how good Philadelphia is this year, because their schedule is going to be a little bit tougher than it was this year. Because when I tell people that the NFC East they were like 28, 29, and 2 teams were tied for 30. It's the easiest schedule in the NFL. They said you can't go by that. But you can go by that. The Eagles the only one that actually really took advantage of it, and the Giants did, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, man. If you still give love to fictional characters over your real life heroes, I can't get down with you. I can't get down with Philly until somebody gets bigger than Rocky.
Well, that's not even going to happen, because Rocky's a fictional character, and that's the problem with them. They believe more in Rocky than they believe in
they got a statue up of Rocky. That tells you everything you need to know about Philly.
So my thing is, why they ain't got no statue of Dr. J? Why they ain't got a statue of Will Chamberlain? Philadelphia. They need some live people there. But
Allen Iverson.
Yeah. But Miss Bridget, it was good talking to you.
Even Smith.
You was a surprise person to call in today. It's good talking to you.
Look out for Houston. Everything Houston, the Astros, we got our black GM.
Oh man, Dusty Baker, that's the best thing that happened to you.
Our black coach in Houston. We got a black quarterback. Got the Houston. They're about a black coach, and we got the Rockets. I'm afraid they may get rid of Signs, but I don't know who they're going to get to replace him.
Well,
Right.
you
They
know
can't
what?
go nowhere worse. And the Rockets in the Texans, they gotta go up.
They got too much talent,
But you know what though? The Rockets are not that bad. They're not. They just need some. They need some help. They need to get somebody in to believe in them. And I'm not saying not their coach, but I'm saying they gotta be able to go out there and get that talent that they need to get, because they're a young team. And when you watch them play, they play hard. You know what I'm saying? They really play hard. So I give them credit for that. But now my question is, you gave John Wall all that money to sit there on the bench. You buy him out, send him to the Clippers send him back. I'm like, what? I'm like, if I'm John Wall, like, yo, is this Groundhog Day or what? Because I'm back.
they're going to have to wait. They're going to wait. They're going to let it go.
Yes.
They're going to wait.
All right, Miss Bridget, good talking to you.
Good talking to you guys.
All right, you take care. You too.
Thanks a lot for hearing me.
All right. We got Lou. We got Lou out there. Lou, what's going on, brother?
All right. What a game. Just don't even talk to him. My goodness.
Great Super Bowl. Great Super Bowl. I'm telling you, it was a good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Getting back to the Super Bowl though. Lou, what did you say? You said Kelsey was gonna make it. Who was it said Kelsey was gonna make a difference? First of all, who picked the Eagles to win?
I think
Mo did. So he's coming off the board. Lou, you had Chiefs.
Thank you, Dave, for hanging in with us and sticking on the right side. Eagles should have won that game. We're glad they're miserable right now. We own Pennsylvania, baby. Steelers, baby. Steelers.
I had the Chiefs.
I'll tell you what, though. The Eagles play their fourth sport.
Dana had the Chiefs winning 31-16. I had the old Chiefs offensive line being a factor. Trey Young didn't get traded, so he's off the board. So it looked like everything's going to come up the board.
Just leave that Jacksonville's going to win a home game. Just leave that up there. Yeah, they won that home game.
All this gets to come down. We got to start something new.
Yeah, you don't want to give me credit.
Okay. CJ Gardner, Johnson, safety.
Yeah, that was my guy.
Yeah, that goes off. So one thing still up there is Lamar Jackson will be on another team next season. That's a lone wolf.
Article just came out that said that they actually are considering trading him if they get a boatload of picks.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, because I got man, I'm always on top of my, I'm always on top of my game when it comes to that right there. So, getting back to Super Bowl real quick, what play other than the hold, Lou, stood out to you?
I think, early in the first quarter, a touchdown that I can't see. I just looked at they're going to go away with a bunch of bombs, and they go right back in, and they take it headed. Even though they were down by 10 in the second quarter for the half, I knew something was going to happen with the Chiefs, which I wasn't going to. And, Kelsey was phenomenal as well.
Okay. Dave, you still out there?
Yeah, I am, sir.
What play was a factor for you in Super Bowl last night? What was the play that you was like, wow?
Well, the big play that really sort of broke the momentum of the Eagles was that fumble that they ended up getting picked up for six points.
Yes.
And that was a big play early, and I think it definitely the fact that the Eagles got held to a field goal for about a quarter and a half until they get that last touchdown. That right there is when the game was won and lost, because the Chiefs were scoring touchdowns and the Eagles weren't doing anything.
Exactly. Mo, was a big play for you?
Punt return.
Punt return.
Damn, you took.
I'm sorry, man, but you should have said yours because you knew I was going to go with that. Because you know I love special teams, man. People think so much about offense and defense. Special teams win games, and that punt return was what turned that game. Because when they took the lead, I was just like, yeah, they might. Kansas City's rolling now, and that's what they did. They rolled from then on. That was just a great play. And now, how did the Giants feel, man? How did the Giants feel giving that dude up? Dude scored a touchdown, almost scored another one on returning, and they just gave him up for a second-round pick after they gave up a first-round pick to draft him. Giants got to get right. Even though they got better, if they'd have had him, they'd have been much better.
All right, so since you took I get two now. So the one is I said last week, I said Kansas City offensive line got to step up and play better. They did do that. Mahomes didn't get sacked at all during the game, and neither did now. Remember this, people. Neither did Jalen Hurts. He had 2 runs for -1 yard, so they consider it as a sack, which I don't agree with that at all. I'm like, this don't make sense to me because somebody got to get a sack for that. But actually, to tackle him, it didn't happen. My other big play was the one where Patrick Mahomes was getting ready to fall down, and he threw that ball sidearm to Kelsey to pick up the first down. That probably was in the third quarter, I think. And I think they ended up going down scoring in that one because that's the drive that put them. I think that's the drive that made it. I think it might have made the game tied. I think when the last touchdown. I think that play right there was which I think if you guys can remember, he was right in the middle field. He caught a shoestring catch, and he rolled over to the first down. I think that was probably huge right there because if they don't get that first down, I think the momentum swings back over to the Eagles, and the Eagles will probably win this game. It was something else. God, dog it. It'll come to me. But
you also got to think about that. That Quez Watkins drop. When it was like and it went right through his hands. So you never trust anybody named Quez. You know anybody else named Quez?
So check this out, though. Go ahead, Dave.
The pass rush by the Chiefs there in that fourth quarter, I mean, which led to that punt return. Because I mean, after the Chiefs got ahead, and they get out right away and stop the Eagle and force the punt, and then that's a really put the Eagles in the trouble.
Yeah, and you know what's funny though, because on that punt return, he slips, and by him slipping, that caused the one defender not to tackle him. He gets his foot and runs the opposite way, so he gets that. So again, that field that field was terrible on both ends. I just feel like it needed to be taken care of. Go ahead, Mo.
I was going to say the field was actually grown by the USGA for golf. Why are you playing football on golf grass? It just made no sense to me.
Yeah, and then they even changed the cleats. And Kansas City said they already knew what type of cleats to play on because they played out there at the beginning of the year against Arizona, and they said it was that field was terrible. So getting to the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes. Atlanta Falcons have 9 picks, Mo. They got 1, 2, 3, 2 4s, a 5, a 6, and 2 7s. The first round is an 8th, second round is 45th, third round 76. They got 2 4, 110, and 113. Now, if you're Baltimore, do you take that 1, 2, 3 and ask for some more down the line for Lamar? Because they got cap room. And the thing, and then I'm gonna say this too, guys. If Lamar leaves Baltimore and goes to Atlanta, somebody's following him from Baltimore down there because they want him to stay in Baltimore. But Baltimore said if the picks are right, we'll make sure that the trade is tight. So Baltimore got to be really careful about this. And actually, if you guys look at any mock drafts, they have Baltimore picking a quarterback. I don't think let me see. They got Baltimore picking at 22nd. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have them picking a quarterback at that one right there. I think Baltimore gets some compensatory picks, but they don't have them on here just yet. Because Baltimore got 1, they got 3 at 86, they got 4 at 121, they got 5 at 145, they got 6 at 185. So if they're looking to get the same type of quarterback that they have in Lamar. I forgot who the guy was in the mock draft, but Atlanta has 9 picks, and that's the place that he could end up going. Only other team that has more picks than that is Houston. Lamar probably ain't going to Houston because he's not trying to rebuild down in Houston. Only other team that has Jacksonville has 9 picks. Tampa Bay has Giants have 9 picks, but we know he's not going to Giants. Seattle has 9 picks. Tampa has 7 picks, but they got the first one is 19th, second is 50th, third is 82nd, and number 5 is 150th, and 6 is 167. 8th and 7th. So now Tampa Bay could package the 1, 2, and 3, because if you really think about it, what do they really need down there? They need a quarterback. They already got the wide receivers. If they can stay healthy, that would be a nice play. So you take the 1, the 2, the 3 for this year, and you give them a 2 and a 3, or maybe a 4. Give them like these 3 this year, and give them 2 more picks or 3 more picks next year. That's a doable package. Now I don't know who they fired Brian Leftwich. I don't understand why they did that, because they got rid of Tom Brady. So why in the heck would you fire him when he just won a Super Bowl with the same guy? I don't get that at all. I know there's got to be a scapegoat, but let's be real about this, guys. Leftwich was just a figurehead. Tom Brady was the one running that offense. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I understand that firing of Brian Leftwich. You know, but Tampa.
It was a dumb move.
Yeah, Tampa. That could be a place for him to go with Tampa. But I think Atlanta has a cap room to make it happen, and they got the draft picks as well. Again, you have a tight end, you got 2 good running backs, you got a wide receiver core, you got decent offensive line. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so what you do is you package up that deal, then you go to free agency hard because you got cap space. So you're gonna hit free agency really hard because you know you don't have no draft picks no more, and that's how you build that team. But I'm telling you right now, Lamar comes to go to Atlanta. Oh, that's gonna be a packed house. Mo, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that'd be a good spot. What's the name?
Right-handed Michael Vick. That's exactly who he is. Just as fast. Just as I don't think his arm is as strong as Vick's, because I went to UVA. That was a rocket. When he came to UVA from Virginia Tech, oh my God. I had never seen anything like that. That kid was nice. He was special. There's no question about it. But Lamar brings a lot of those qualities. I think he's actually faster than Michael Vick, though. But at the same time, he doesn't have the arm. He has a good arm, but he doesn't have the arm that Vick had. But he's the closest thing to Michael Vick that you're going to have, and they know that they were sad when Michael Vick went to jail because they wanted to keep him as the franchise quarterback. But if they could get something like that and get the fans hyped like they used to be for Michael Vick games, get Hammer coming back. Okay, Hammer was with Dion, but still, it was crazy. Those Atlanta days. When the birds were flying down there in Atlanta, it was crazy. So it would be good to see Atlanta coming back because they've been terrible for a while. And he actually has better. He has a wide receiver, 6'5" wide receiver, Drake from USC, who had a pretty good year. He didn't have a great year because he was hurt. Then you also got Kyle Pitts out there too. He actually has. I think he would actually have a better wide receiver out in Atlanta than he actually has in Baltimore. I don't think Pitts is as good as Mark Andrews in Baltimore. but he's close, and that kid is fast, and that would be amazing. I would love to see it, and I love for him to get out of Baltimore too, since I'm in Baltimore, and I love the Steelers. We love to see it. Bye, Lamar. Bye, Lamar.
Yeah, but if they get a younger quarterback that can do what Lamar does and stay healthier, then they really not missing out on anything. Because but the thing about it is, what I don't understand about Baltimore is that you want to get another you want to get another quarterback like Lamar, but your run first team. That doesn't make sense to me. If you're not going to implement any plays for him to run the football, then why even try to get a quarterback like that? I'm baffled by that. I'm really baffled by that situation. I really am. I don't understand that whole situation there. We had 8:15 right now. MVP. Let's talk about the awards. MVP. Anybody? I felt like Jalen Hurts should have got that. Anybody feel differently? Anybody okay with Mahomes getting it? Any different?
I'm okay with it.
Nope. Coach of the year went to Brian Dable for the Giants. I felt like a man in Jacksonville should have got that. Yeah,
I called that. I called that.
Yeah, you did call that. I felt like I think Peterson should have got it because of what Peterson and this. Now let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that these awards should be done after the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl? Because the award
after.
Because
it's a regular season award.
They've already voted for them. They already voted for the people. But I'm just saying, I think the playoffs it should be right before. Well, it is right before the Super Bowl. But I mean, I know you went Brian Dable, but you don't think Doug Peterson should have got that for what he did for Jacksonville?
No,
they won a division.
No, he had a number one draft pick as a quarterback. Who wanted Daniel Dimes last year? Who wanted Daniel Dimes?
But Mo, hold on, wait a minute, Mo.
Daniel Dimes.
He came there as this is his first year at Doug Peterson's first year, right? As head coach.
So is Brian Daboll's.
Yeah, but you know what though? Listen to this though. Brian Daboll's had a running back that was healthy this year.
Finally healthy.
Daniel Jones was healthy this year.
Finally healthy.
But he was healthy. But Doug Peterson goes to Jacksonville as a new head coach. So he got to implement everything he got to implement into that team. They won a division.
Yeah. How many people did they bring in? How much money did they spend in free agency? We knew they were going to be better. Go back to the start of the season. Let's see who we said was going to be better.
You did. You said
no. I'm talking about when they're 2-6 for Jacksonville. Yeah, I said they're going to be better, and I love Peterson. Peterson's second. I'm not down to Peterson. What I'm saying is nobody expected that from the Giants. Nobody. The Giants were picked last in that division.
The schedule dictated them winning the games because they had one of the easiest schedules out there. They was like 30. They was like tied for 31st or 32nd, something like that. But that goes to show you if you stay healthy, how well you can be. Now I'm gonna say this about Daniel Jones. He played well enough to get a paycheck, but now are they gonna get Barkley some paycheck? Who gonna get what's gonna happen with that one? So comeback player of the year, I agree with Geno Smith. Geno Smith. Anybody disagree with that one?
I disagree. How you going to come back from 10 years? It wasn't last year. It was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. Come back 10 years ago. I'm sorry. That ain't no comeback. That's a rebirth.
Okay.
Saquon should have won comeback player of the year.
Yeah. I think he should have won that too. Offensive player of the year is Justin Jefferson. I'm cool with I'm cool with Justin. Anybody have anybody else different? Mo, Lou.
I was cracking up because he didn't give Kurt any clout on that.
Would you say, Lou?
I agree with it. I do think Brian Dable should be coach. He should be trying to, in the playoffs and they're running division. So I think it's a black
ask you a question. Between the Giants and the Jaguars, who has the most upside right now?
Jaguars.
No question.
No question. It ain't even close. That's why I said Brian Dable is coach of the year.
Wait a minute. Hold on. If you're in the Super Bowl, who coach are you going to take? Doug Peterson or Brian Dable?
Doug Peterson's already won a Super Bowl.
That's why he should be coach of the year because he
got
that's why
Brian Dable should be coach of the year because he's never done it. And he's never with a team that was terrible.
They won as bad as they was because of all the injuries they had the year before that, and that's why the coach got fired because of all the injuries. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. When Joe Burrows went down, they was trash. Joe Burrows get better, and they go to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrows consistently plays, they get to the AFC Championship game.
Let me pull up Daniel Jones. How many games he played the year before? Let's pull up his stats because I'm thinking he played at least 10 games.
The year before.
I say he probably played about 8.
Daniel Jones stat. 2000. We're gonna go 2021. We're gonna go 2022. Because 2021 he played 11 games.
He played 11 games.
11
but
games.
Did he have
11 games.
But he didn't have his running back.
Dude, he was the running back. Remember, he's running down the He can keep him up. He can keep him up.
Yeah, but the thing about it is he ain't the real running back. Because if he was a real running back, he'd have scored on that touch. He scored on that. How you just fall on grass? How you just fall? That don't make sense to me. All right.
He is wide open too.
That was even worse.
He could have slowed down.
He could have slowed down the score.
The defensive player of the year went to Nick Bosa. I have no problem with Nick Bosa being the defensive player of the year, but I can't understand how 717 Michael Parsons didn't get a vote. I don't get that.
I don't understand how TJ
Watt made the Pro Bowl, but
right. But I'm gonna say this though. Micah just got to be calm and collective and do what he do next year. Let Micah let your play on the field do all the talking for you. That's all I got to say about that one. Offensive Rookie of the Year, just wide receiver Garrett Wilson. I like that as well.
It really should have been Breece Hall.
Had
a better game.
Had
the first half of the season.
Yeah, he
and
did.
They both on the Jets. That's what's scary.
I agree. FedEx Air Ground Player of the Year with Joe Burrows, quarterback, Josh Jacobs, Raiders running back. I disagree with that one. I don't think he should have got. He had one huge game, which put him over the top of Nick Chubb and who else was there? The other running back. I don't agree with that one.
I think he led the league in touchdowns. Too. He was killing it in fantasy.
He was the fantasy player of the year.
Salute to Service Award representative for USAA was Ron Rivera, Commanders head coach, who should be fired.
Yeah.
Come on, go to the one where I can do what Philly fans did last night.
Bud Light. It says Bud Light Selly of the Year Bengals roller coaster celebration in week 18. I guess they did a dance or something like that. NFL fan of the year. NFL fan of the year representative of Captain Morgan, Larry Bevan, Seahawks. Deacon Jones sack leader award, Nick Bosa, 49ers defensive end. AP assistant coach of the year, DeMarco Ryan, 49ers. Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award of Calais Campbell for the Ravens, who's being recruited to go to Dallas. Angry Run of the Year, Damian Priest, Texas running back versus Jaguars.
It should have been
Jim Brown Award.
It should have been nice.
Jim Brown rushing leader, Joseph Jacobs Raiders. A Head and Shoulders never working projected player of the year. Tied in George Kittle, and they don't have the one for
Come on now, you got to go to the one. You got to go to the one where
really booed.
I don't see it on here. It's not on here. That's the only one I'm
Walter
missing.
Payton,
and
Man of the Year Award.
I'm looking for it. It's not on here. I don't know why it's not on this list.
Boo! 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 That's why they lost. Karma. They booed Hall of Famers too.
So,
Cowboy fans.
I'm looking at the voting. MVP wasn't close. None of these. Only one coach of the year. Doug Peterson only got 5. Cal Shanahan 12. I don't understand how Cal Shanahan gonna be coach of the year when he got. I mean, you got a
third string quarterback.
Yeah, but you got McCaffrey as your running back.
You got a third string quarterback.
He ain't had to do much. They had a good defense.
Look what the Ravens did with that third string quarterback.
Look what Nick Bosa did for the defense.
Tell me before this year.
He knew who Brock Purdy's name was.
Nope.
He wasn't relevant. I'm sorry. When they booed Dak Prescott, I laughed so hard.
Well, they booed DeMarco Ryan too when they said for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yo, they
DeMarcus Ware, you mean?
Yeah, DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, they booed. That's who he really is. They're haters. They deserve to lose. I'm so surprised that what's you call it? But that Dana ain't a Cowboy fan. I guess he's still chilling at work.
I guess so. So, okay, so guys, now there's about to be another rule that's probably gonna get changed in the NFL, and it's the rule of the quarterback sneak. They're saying now that it's unsafe and it can cause harm or injury when you push from the back end. Everything's going to have to be from the quarterback himself going forward. Now, where you had the fullback or you had the lineman back there, you had everybody pushing him going forward, and the Eagles were good at this year. Let me just read this right here.
Yeah.
It said, could NFL ban hugely successful Eagles play in 2023? And this is where you think outside the box. This is going to be a Belichick move right here. If they get rid of this kind of stuff that Belichick comes up with. There's a belief within the league that the type of push plays will be under scrutiny in the spring when teams propose and vote on potential rule changes. The Eagles are incredibly successful this season at a quarterback sneak in which Jalen lines up under center and receives a push from players lined up behind him. Per Mike Tainer, the Eagles converted 29 first downs on touchdowns, 33 sneaks in the regular season, both figures highest on the record. Critics of the play argue it's more kind of rugby scrum and potential adds to injury risk. As the Eagles showed this season, the reward is significant of the risk. This was in 2006. They had this in there. They were going to take it out. They said they're going to leave it alone. As clueless, listen to this part of it, guys. As clueless as the referees are as to what a catch is, the fewer things the NFL leaves to their discretion might be better. It says no one wants there to be more subjective NFL officiating, but there's a difference between blocking the defender into a ball carry and pushing the ball carrier forward, which is what the Eagles perfected this season. So think about that being a change coming up, man. I was gonna talk about YouTube, but they didn't give me the down. I can't find out how much they're gonna cost to do YouTube. Okay, we did talk about Eric Bieniemy. Now, real quick, guys, if you remember during the Super Bowl when the game was over with, how Andy Reid said how he did an excellent job. He said it several times, and then Patrick Mahomes came back and said several times that he did an excellent job. Eric Bieniemy has passed on some jobs. He has passed on some interviews for other jobs because he feels like he's just a Rooney Rule guy, and that's why he hasn't really taken anything seriously. But I'm gonna have to find an article again, Mo, that says that I think there might be a speech impediment or something with him. I'm not for sure. I have to look it up again to see what's going on.
I think you're right on that. It was a speech impediment, but it was also his past where he actually was arrested.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That did have something to do with it. So we real quick, we done with that. We done with that right there. So getting to we got time. We got 30 minutes. Okay, so getting to the Super Bowl odds for next year. The Kansas City Chiefs are plus 500. 49ers are plus 600. And now, remember the 49ers. Remember what I'm saying about the 49ers. Buffalo Bills are plus 650. Eagles are plus 800. Bengals are plus 900. Cowboys is a plus 1,600. Chargers are plus 2,200. What do the Chargers got that we don't know nothing about? I need to know. Jaguars. You got one, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 teams in front of the Jaguars to go to Super Bowl. That's some great odds. At the bottom of the list, you got the Colts, the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Bears, and the Texans. I think the Bears are going to be a lot better than what people say they are. But that's the odds already. And the thing about it is that the Chiefs really don't have to spend no more money on nobody else. I think they pretty much locked on what they got. The Eagles, they got some free agents that they got to pay some money to, and they can't pay everybody because now they got to know they got to pay Jalen Hurts. So does Jalen Hurts take a user-friendly, team-friendly contract going? Because this is his 3rd year, if I'm not mistaken. Wait a minute. So next year is his 4th year, so he can get a new contract next year. So does he take does he take a team-friendly contract and allow them to keep everybody coming back, or does he go for his money? That's going to be the question for him. Go ahead, Mo.
I think they'll wait another year. The reason being is they don't have to pay him this year. They got to pay him the following year. But it does make sense for goodwill to pay him this year. But if you pay him this year, that takes away probably 1 or 2 players that you can have. So I think they talk about maybe raising him, maybe giving 2 or 3 million more this year because they don't have to, but then investing in the other players and try and keep everybody together and try and do another run for next year. That's the smart thing to do. But Arizona just paid Kyler Murray, so they paid him a year early. So you never know what Jalen's going to ask for, especially because he got you to a Super Bowl. And I know exactly the way he plays. He's also worried about his agent, and he should be worried about his arm getting hurt last year. He should try and get his money because he's proved what he's valued to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and next week I'm gonna go get the salary cap for the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Bills, the Eagles, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Chargers. They're the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're the top 7 Super Bowl odds. But now this is the question with me with the 49ers is this right here. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. But they're saying Kittle is saying he wants Trey Lance to be the quarterback going forward.
That's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said it's Brock's job to lose.
Okay, then maybe I read something wrong because I just read a little snippet of it. I thought he said Trey Lance. So
no, he said Brock is the starter.
But now this is the thing with the 49ers is that they don't have no draft picks. I know they don't have no draft picks.
Yeah, they didn't even have a first round pick to trade for McCaffrey, so they had to trade a second and I think a first next year. Because they gave up all those picks for Trey Lance.
See, San Francisco has 4 picks. They don't pick into the 5th round. They got 2 5th rounds and 2 7th rounds. They got 4 picks. And depending on if they lose any top free agents, they get some compensatory pick. So that means they don't have draft picks. And I'm gonna look up their salary cap because I think their salary strapped too because of the McCaffrey situation. So next week I'm gonna look up all their cap room for all those 5 teams they got. I'm kind of shocked about the Chargers being there right now because I still don't believe in them guys at all. Look like we lost Mo again. Hope we get him back. So okay, we got Mo back. So let's talk a little basketball. So I'm gonna go first, Mo, on what I think I'd like to see change in the NBA. I think the All-Star game need to have horse. I think they need to have the N1 guys that do the dunk contest, somebody that actually needs the money, make it a $1 million purse for them guys. If they're in college, invest the money, put the money, and put it in stocks and bonds, or invest it however they do with them if they're in college or whatever. I think that makes the dunk contest better. Keep the 3-point contest there, but I think you bring in horse a little bit. I think that you change that All-Star pick and you go international to USA. I think you do those types of things. I think that makes the game. I think that makes the All-Star weekend a little bit better because you're doing something different. The dunk contest really is going south. I'm really mad because you don't have any top all-stars in the dunk contest, and LeBron has never been in a dunk contest before because he don't like losing, because he will probably lose in dunk contest. LeBron has never been in a 3-point contest. He probably would lose that as well. I just don't understand how superstars don't get into the dunk contest. That's if you want to be compared to Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dr. J, those types of dudes, that's something you got to do. And LeBron, I'm calling you out. Yeah, I'm calling you out on that. Now, you might be too long in the tooth right now to do it, but you should have did that earlier because we know how you are. We know that you don't like to lose. That's why you jump from team to team to team to team to team. So those are things that I would like to see change in the NBA All-Star game. Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
First of all, San Francisco has 8 million.
San Francisco has 8 million.
How much?
8 million.
8 million.
That's it.
Compared to the Bears. We have
98.6 million.
And Atlanta, who's 56.4. Think about 96 against 54. The Bears got a lot of room. They should have kept Roquan.
But I said that's why I said the Bears is too far down, in my opinion, as far as getting to the Super Bowl, because I think that the money they got is going to help them bring that free agency back in there and make that team irrelevant again. But go ahead.
Scary one. 44.5.
44.5.
They got to re-sign T.
Higgins.
Okay, so back to the NBA. I like the format last year. I like where you had something to play for at the end because you're actually playing for the finals on who's going to get the home game. So I like that. We had talked about doing the world versus America. So, but at the same time, I like the format now because it actually is something to play for. You're not just playing for that. You're playing for home court in the West. You're playing for home court in the East. Yes, they get the change. They get to choose.
Wait a minute. Wait a
minute. Is that just baseball?
Is that just baseball?
That's the way it should be then. Keep the West All-Stars. Keep the East All-Stars. Let whoever wins the game plays for home court. That's the way it should be. That's how I change it. You cut me off.
I got to disagree with you on that one. I got to disagree with you on that. Nah.
Why? We like the way that the baseball did it.
I'm gonna say this: if you got the best record, you should get home field advantage. Period. Point blank.
Nope.
Because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen is somebody gonna hate on you and they're gonna lose the game on purpose so that you don't get it. And the way the All-Star game is now, you got guys playing against same guys on the same team.
Now, but I'm saying go back to the East versus the West.
They ain't gonna do that.
Then why have an East and West conference then?
That's my whole thing.
Take out the East and West. They talked about doing that. Just take out the East and West conference. Take out the East and West conference. The top 16 teams go to play.
But you got to remember the reason why they did that is because the East always had teams that was below 500 making the playoffs, and so they said, okay, well, we're in the West, we're playing better basketball. But now you look at it right now, the East is playing better basketball than the West. I think it takes its turn every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Because the NBA the NFL, baseball.
So, Kyrie and KD. Now I'm gonna get on my soapbox a little bit on this one. All-Star game. Yo, listen, they got enough money to pay both of us max money. They got all this cap room. Let's go there and be great. I'm sitting there thinking he talking about the Boston Celtics. He talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, because at the time
they weren't talking about the Brooklyn
They
Nets.
were talking about the
They're
Brooklyn
talking
Nets.
about the New York
They're
Knicks.
talking about the New York Knicks.
No. Because KD said he was never going to New York because KD said he would never go to New York because he said that the media up there don't respect the media don't respect the professional athletes like they should. So that's why he said he would never go to New York. So they were talking about Brooklyn. I thought they were talking about Boston, right? And they was talking about Brooklyn. So KD's like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. So they do that. They go to Brooklyn, guys. They go to Brooklyn. Joe Tsai or whoever the owner is gives KD a brand new contract. He ain't played a game in a year because he tore his Achilles. Who does that? What owner do you know brings in a guy that tears his Achilles and he doesn't play for a whole year and you pay him? So we're gonna fast forward this thing. Kyrie asks for a trade. He goes to Dallas Mavericks. KD asks for a trade. He goes to the Phoenix Suns. I'm pissed off about this because what they did is the player empowerment that they had going on in the NBA, they screwed it all up right now. Because no team's gonna do what the Brooklyn Nets did by allowing players to dictate who comes there, who coaches there, who plays there. Everybody, your boy James Harden said, "Oh, so was it me or was it them? Was it him? Was it you?" Because he said, "Oh, I don't look so crazy now. I told you it was dysfunctional there." Joe Harris even said the same thing. I'm mad about this whole situation because Brooklyn was all in on these guys. You never gave it a chance to mature. Kyrie, you're the reason why it all happened like this. I ain't saying you had to take the shots for the virus or not, but you brought all these guys together. Patty Mills said, "Doggone it, I came here to be a backup. Now I'm starter. I'm too old to be a starter. I'm too old to be a starter. But you making me a starter. But now you come back, and I don't know if I'm starting one day or the next. So mentally, I don't even know where my mind is. Because I don't know what my position is going to be on the team. When you come back, I don't know if you're starting today or you're not playing today because you don't feel like you got, I don't feel like it. I don't have my sage today, so I'm not going to play. But Kyrie, you brought all this to Brooklyn. You brought all this to Brooklyn. Then you asked for a trade. You asked to be traded. You know you wasn't going to LA. You know that what they want to see in LA. But I'm really mad because what you basically did was the power empowerment that you guys had going on, it didn't work. You know, you had James Harden, he left. He's like, man, I can't deal with this. I come here to play, and neither one of y'all playing. I come here to be a part of the three-man team, and as a one-man team by myself. So no, I got to go. I got to go. Go ahead, Mo.
16 games. That's
16 games. That's how much they played.
16
How many?
games.
16 games.
Together.
In
2 years. In 2 years.
Yep. Yeah.
So on top of all of that, guys, when it comes time to negotiate this new contract, there's gonna be some hiccups. It's gonna be some low management. It's gonna be some low management issues on the contract. It's gonna be more. You're gonna see more incentives in contracts now than you ever saw before. And I would not be surprised if the NBA goes on strike because of how these players are doing. You got Kawhi Leonard out there. Don't play them back to backs. Ain't played in the whole year. And then you think that you think you're that good that you can turn it on, turn it off. It ain't that easy. It's not that easy.
No.
And that's why I felt like when John Morant said, "Yo, if we can stay healthy, we got a chance to win," because they played together more than anybody else. Now that you got KD out in sunny Arizona, Chris Paul gonna come up with a fingernail. He gonna have a broken fingernail. Booker, I don't know if he's gonna be healthy at all. KD won't be able to play back-to-backs. And you got 20. You're gonna have 26 games to get it together. 26 games. These guys got it. They got a jail in 26 games. It's not gonna happen. If you're looking for the long haul next year, I understand it. But the thing about it is, you gotta still remember, Golden State is still who Golden State is. And what Golden State went through this year, they probably won't go through next year. Now they are a little bit older, you know, but again, they're gonna be a threat. Grizzlies gonna be better. Everybody out. The Kings gonna be better. So my thing is, everybody went out west. Nobody came to the east. I wonder why. Because was they afraid to go up against Boston and Milwaukee as far as going to NBA Finals? I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's going on. But again, I'm pissed off. If I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, I'm pissed off with that bullshit. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say it. I'm pissed off behind this BS because they played 16 games together in 3 years. 16 games. 16 games. And then they got swept in the playoffs last year. How does that make sense to me? And Kyrie talking about he got disrespected while he was there. Kyrie, you put yourself in that situation, dude. You're the one you put this whole team together. Oh, we don't need no coach. We don't need no coach. And then you fire the coach. And then before KD gets hurt, they were 2 games out of first place.
Did Lou just say you big dummy? I heard Red Fox in the background. I heard Red Fox. You big dummy.
But my thing is, it just doesn't make sense to me, man. Because what's going to happen is the way that basketball is going right now, they're already. And my thing is, I hate when people tell me that basketball now is better than basketball back then. The only difference between basketball now and basketball back then is that basketball they're physically better, they're more talented because they work on the game all year long. Where back in the days, you played basketball during basketball season. When basketball season's over, you took some time off. Okay, even when Bill Russell and them played, they took time off and they were basically working another job. But don't sit and tell me that this basketball is better because they're so finicky. Oh, we don't need to have back-to-backs no more. We should play 3 times a week. Yo, you getting paid to play basketball. My thing is Golden State. When Golden State lost to Boston, they went to Cleveland and everybody sat out. And you had a guy spent over $5,000 to go see them play. Who's a Golden State fan? The dude was pissed off. Steve Kerr gonna try to make up an excuse why they didn't play. Come on, man. We're the ones that pay your paychecks. For real. Let's keep it real.
Oh, man.
Let's keep it real. And if he had kids that want to go to the game and don't see their favorite play, that's disappointing. But the Kyrie and KD thing, man, I hope they never touch another NBA final. And I want Kyrie to go to the Lakers so bad next year because I don't want to hear no excuses on anything. Go ahead, Mo. Mo left me again. But again, when Mo gets back on her, I don't want to hear no excuses of them not going to the finals because that's who LeBron James wants. And we know Kyrie already has a bad will as it is now. So they trying to get the season cut down so many games. I think the season is a little bit too long. 82 games is a little bit too long. But it's you played the first half long. The first half is longer now than it was before when they cut it in half. And now after the All-Star break, Lou, you only have 26 games left to play. Okay, so you look at your schedule, you look at the teams you're playing, and then you figure out what games you can definitely win, what games that you have a possibility of losing, and you say, okay, where can we end up at the end of the day, at the end of the year, at the end of the season? Are we a 1, 2, or 3 seed? Are we willing to give up the home court advantage to keep our team healthy? Is that what we want to do? Is that something that we're thinking about doing? Because that's what's going on right now. That's what's going on. You got KD. Was you about to say something, Mo?
No, it was an alarm going off in my house. So I was just like, I'm walking away for a second.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you got Anthony Davis out in LA that don't want to take over. LeBron's pissed with him. Well, wait a minute, you left an alarm again? Oh.
No, bro. I think you just muted me. You don't like it because I'm a Steelers fan and we finished better than y'all.
I ain't mute. Oh.
Go ahead. I'm messing.
You got AD out in LA. They can't be the man at all. You got Zion Williams, who made this first team All-Star, right? Who got a hamstring pull. And then I'm gonna say this: if you got a hamstring pull and you're in the NBA, that means you're not stretching correctly. Whoever your trainer is, you need to fire his behind because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Stop eating all the poor boy sandwiches, the scripts, the lobster tails, the gator, all that. Zion, stop doing that, man. They just gave you all that money. You need to be out there playing on the basketball court. Embiid should be in the All-Star team. How is Embiid? How are you leading the NBA in scoring and you're not a starter? There's a bunch of shenanigans going on in the NBA. I wish they do not let the fans vote for the people that starts in it. Let us vote for the bench warmers. Let us vote for the people that come off the bench. But the starters need to come from the players. The players know who should be starting in the All-Star game. Embiid is leading the league in scoring, and he's not a starter in NBA. He's not a starter in the All-Star game. Man, stop. Look, it's not making no sense to me. It's just not making any sense to me. No. Kevin Durant ain't played in 2 months. He's a starter. Where you get this from? Anthony Davis was second in votes. He ain't played. Why do the NBA allow this junk to go on, man? It's not making no sense. The fans are gonna come anyway, regardless, because 90% of the fans go to All-Star weekend, don't even go to the damn games. They don't go to the All-Star. They don't go to the young guys game. They don't go to the skill game. They go out there and party. I've been to All-Star games. I'm telling you what happens. They go to party. 90% of people go to the party. I don't understand it. The NBA, you got to do better.
I'm sorry. Because women don't go to the game. They go to the parties. So I'm going to All-Star Week. I'm going to the parties too. I'm married now, so really don't matter. But if I was a single man, let me just clear that up real quick because we're live on TV here.
Oh my God. Yo, it just irks me, man. Wow. Oh my God, it irks me so bad. Oh, this really irks me, man. The game I love, they dangle this thing around like a carrot, man. I mean, it just pisses me off how they do in the NBA. Oh, we can't do back-to-backs. Oh, we need load management. I'm telling you I'm telling you how they handle load management too. If you're on load management, you got to be out for 7 days. Oh, you want to do load management? Okay, 7 days. After 7 days, you can come back and play if you want to. And the thing about it is, everything should be base-driven, paycheck-wise, off how many games you play and what you average as points. Because I'm telling you right now, the owners are getting sick and tired of this mess right here. They're getting sick and tired. They're not saying that right now, but I'm telling you, Mo, I'm telling you, Lou, I'm telling you who else is out there in TV land watching us. The NBA will be going on strike because the NBA has allowed the players to control what they control, and they have abused their privilege. And this situation that just happened with the Brooklyn Nets is a prime example of what happened. And I also want to know, somebody need to tell me this. How in the heck did that trade go through with Kevin Durant at 1 o'clock in the morning? Nobody heard about that at 3 p.m. Trade deadline was done. But 1 o'clock, we saw that trade at 1 o'clock the next day.
It was 1 a.m. the previous day.
No, it ended on Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, he was traded the night before.
No, he wasn't. That was the night of.
Yes, he was. I woke up the day of the trade. He had already been traded.
He got traded. That trade happened Wednesday.
Wednesday morning. Wednesday at 1 a.m.
Yeah, but the
trade deadline was over at Wednesday. At 3 p.m.
I thought. Well, wait a minute. I didn't go. No, because I woke up that night. I woke up and looked at my phone and said, he got traded?
Yeah, the day of.
Yeah,
the
the
last
day
day.
of.
He got traded the night before the trade deadline.
I thought it was the day of.
It was the night
It was the night
the trade
before
deadline.
the trade deadline.
The trade machine instead of
The
trade
trade machine instead of trade deadline.
I could swore that was the same. I thought I was like unless they and well, no, it wasn't because they rushed the ownership.
Trade deadline was Thursday.
Trade deadline was Thursday.
February 9th. He was traded Wednesday. He was traded Thursday morning.
He was traded Thursday morning.
You disappeared on me again. Okay, all right. But still, it is what it is. I'm telling you right now, I'm not happy with this situation whatsoever. The NBA is making me so mad about how they're doing us, how they're doing the NBA, how they're doing the fans. You get the fans that's dedicated to the game. They come and pay all this money to come watch people play, and they come to your arena once a year, and then they don't play. They don't play your favorite player. They need to get this straight. I'm telling you right now, I would do, if I'm the NBA, if I'm the owners, I'm saying, okay, if you want to do load management, you can't play for 7 games. So now the fans see the thing about it is the reason why I don't do that, because the fans are not going to come to the games, because the fans don't know that they're not now the fans know they're not playing, so the fans don't come to the game. That's why they're not going to do it, because they want to get our money. But the thing about it is that the buck stops here, baby. It stops here. Simple as that. As simple as that. I'm telling you right now. It don't make no sense whatsoever. How they doing this thing. I'm a lone wolf right now. Woo! Mo was having technical difficulties all day today. Dana didn't show up today. He's at work. We got Lou. We had a couple other callers in. I want to thank Dave. I thank Miss Bridget for calling in. Lou is always calling in. Again, guys, you see at the bottom, make sure you guys hit us up on YouTube, like us on YouTube. Make sure you get us on stream device, smart device, Try 99 TV. Check us out. I'm looking at me right now on my TV screen. I look pretty good on TV. I have to say, my skin complexion looks pretty good on TV. So, but we're almost down to the wire with this thing. So I got everything out that I wanted to say. We didn't talk about the buyouts for the NBA. So you got guys getting bought out. Look like most of them going out west. Nobody wants to come east. Only one that actually made an improvement was Milwaukee Bucks. They got Jay Crowder in a trade. That's going to be a big come up for him with them because he's a very good defensive player. They lost Tucker and they picked up Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder can shoot the 3 as well. He plays great defense. I wish he could have came back to Boston. I don't know who Boston's going to get in the buyout. If I'm them, I'm looking at Melo still sitting out there chilling. I'm bringing Melo in for some scoring, to be able to score off the bench. You ain't got to play defense, Melo, because we know you can shoot the lights out the ball. I'm voting for him. Kelly Olynyk, he might get bought out. I'd like to see him come back to Boston as well. Tomorrow night we got a couple good games coming on. ESPN. They got. Let me go back. We didn't get a chance to talk about college basketball, but we'll probably talk about it next week. Right now, Sixers are beating Houston 107-88. Cleveland Cavaliers are beating San Antonio 95-89. New York Knicks is beating Brooklyn 70-33. In college basketball, Miami's beating UNC 73-39. We're gonna talk about college basketball next week, about Gamecocks and Alabama, if they truly are the team to beat in college basketball. And something else was, I can't remember what it was. But got some games tomorrow night as well. So I want to thank everybody for joining in with us today. Be safe. Happy Valentine's Day. Make sure you go get your favorite girl something nice to wear or something nice to perfume or something like that. Get her something nice. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. I want to thank everybody for watching us on TV and YouTube. This is where we're gonna be from now on. We got a plan to do something. Come back. We might come back to Facebook maybe once a month or something like that, because I know you guys miss us. So we might be doing something like that. But with that being said, we're gonna get on out of here.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, G-Dub from Austin, Texas, Murray E. Baskerville from Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland, and Coach Ricky from Charleston, South Carolina. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, G-Dub from Austin, Texas, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.